Hey guys, this will be your reading for the summer solstice of 2020. You can maybe watch an event live on TV or on the internet, YouTube. I know Stonehenge are doing something. Lots of things you could be doing. Maybe leave something in the comment section. Maybe you're holding a live event or something like that. Okay, we'll see what the energy will be like. Okay, mirror. And I had this for Cancer as well. And the summer solstice is in Cancer season. The zodiac signs haven't shifted at that point, but the constellation has. Okay, so it's crazy, but it's a wonderful time here to find balance, right, with the mirror. And that's what I'm feeling. You can take time to reflect here, I feel. Look back on the past, do it with like kindness, with gratitude here for all you've been through up until now. I know it's been a heavy year for us, all these eclipses and everything going on. I know it's a heavy year. Let's see if you can look back and meditate even maybe here. Take stock, right, of how far you've come. This is what you've achieved. This is what you want to continue doing. This is what you need to do. And find out who and what is triggering you, but most importantly, why. Usually a person is just our mirror. They're just triggering in us what we don't like about ourselves or what's unhealed about ourselves. So go ahead and ask yourself why a person is triggering you. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, the ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. So maybe take time to remind yourself of this, okay? It's where the sun it appears to stand still. It's the longest day of the year where I am in the UK. So, maybe just that time to appreciate and understand more that, okay, these experiences I'm going through are happening for me so I can gain knowledge, so I can grow. They're not happening like to me. Trust in your path, right? If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Definitely if you're a Cancer or where you have your Cancer placements. My North Node is actually in Cancer. So really trust in your path here. I'm looking more strangely at this triangle that, your path has led you down this ever unfolding road, people triggering you, situations triggering you, waking you up, right? But with this triangle, you've built like this solid foundation, this solid path ahead. So that's why you should realize, this is happening to make you stronger, I feel. Because if you look at this path, it, has all different textures, all different ways to go, all, different bumps in the road for everybody. But I feel like it's a point where you can learn to trust and accept your path for what it is, right? And I feel like it brings like a calming energy. Cancer season is more the feminine energy. Okay, so I feel like, it really sort of will empower that. Let's see here what we have going on. Of course, as always, I'll leave information about what decks of cards I'm using in the description box, okay? Okay, so the Three of Cups. Yeah, a time to really celebrate here. I feel like this is a lot of people like paying tribute, celebrating, acknowledgement. If you remember, people used to worship the sun, right? I'm feeling like that, like some sort of offering, giving thanks or something. Celebration, right, should be had at this time. In astrology, the sun is quite masculine, and you heard me saying Cancer season is quite feminine. So I feel like we should take the time to balance the masculine and feminine within us, right? I feel like a lot of the time during Cancer season, we do like embrace a lot of femininity, and that energy might overtake us after the solstice. It might be more feminine. And the thing is, when we're not used to feminine energy, it can make us quite emotional. So I feel like if you take the time to balance the masculine and feminine energy during the solstice, you'll deal with it a lot better. You'll feel a lot happier within yourself doing this. And it's saying, look, better news is on the way now, Four of Swords, yeah. So I feel like with this Four of Swords, I feel like we'll more have time to rest. I mean, there's a lot going on, but it's been quite heavy on us energetically. Although we've all been, at home doing nothing, it's quite heavy. A lot of us have changed our body clock. So sleeping through the day, awake at night, and, we can't, it's been draining. It's so surprising that doing nothing is draining, right? So I feel like it's been draining. So I feel like we're going to have like this break from this overwhelming energetic thing. And again, I'm seeing like masculine energy in the Four of Swords. It's the card of Libra. So again, it's speaking of that balance that we need, right? So I feel like taking that time out to meditate, to balance our masculine and feminine energy is going to do wonderful for us, right? Three of Pentacles. You see these threes as well. It's definitely about coming together now. I think a lot of this year has been about separating us, and I feel like now we've learned that during lockdown we wanted to be near people. I feel like, that was important. So I feel like we're going to start working together more here as, human race, humanity and things like that. I feel like we're going to start working for the greater good now. We do know that a lot of people are waking up, right? And I feel like it's a coming together of people, like a huge celebration here. And I feel like it's really important not to be like divided, because we are tribal people. We need that support here. So 10 of Cups and the Prince of Swords. Again, we see like this watery energy balanced by this masculine energy, right? This Prince of Swords, who also could be indicating a Libra. But I feel like it's fairness and justice, right? And look again at this happiness in this 10 of Cups. I feel we're going to have more of a time to visit loved ones. And, once we've been in this separation, we realize what human touch means, what love, how important love actually is. Because I think we'd gotten away from that in society, right? We'd all sort of grown to separate ourselves and wanted to be independent and things like that. And that was sort of a goal, and family was sort of stripped away from society, which now I feel like we're understanding family is very important. And that's that feminine energy, right? Of course, with feminine energy, it can't create by itself. So we need the masculine energy. So it's not just like feminine energy is important, and feminine energy is within us all, and so is masculine energy. So I'm not talking about men or women. I'm talking about energy. So yeah, I feel like there's this wanting to nurture, create, be together with people, be supportive and actually spend time with family. I'm seeing that, like more unions and people coming together and things like that. It's been such a terrible time, hasn't it? So yeah, I see this people rushing to be together and, getting justice. For me, I feel like just being honest with each other and open with each other and open to conversation. If somebody has a different opinion from you, you don't have to shut them down. We can learn a lot. The Knight here is still learning. It can be quite reckless to think that you are the only one with an opinion that matters, right? Or, you know, you have to get your point across at all costs. It's not the case. We should be really embracing this energy so we can create something beautiful now. And we knew 2020 was going to be testing, but I bet we didn't know it was going to be this testing. So there's good energy rushing in now with the Knight of Swords. And I really appreciate that. It's like the sun is like the masculine principle energy, and the sun going into Cancer season is the feminine energy. So it's like this Prince of Swords kind of stops for a moment out of his busy rushing around, and that's good to allow the feminine energy to come in. Such a gentleman, right? But he allows this energy to sort of equal up with us, right? Because I feel like we're seeing this rise of sisterhood, matriarchs. Oh, the Prince of Wands now. Okay, so I feel here, you know, as well as this balancing of energy, obviously we're not just going to keep going on about that, but I feel like this would be the moon's energy coming in. Okay, so I feel like it'll rush in, so you could feel like a rush of emotions, maybe even a rush of anger. But remember, if you're doing this meditating, this balancing, and if you're looking within for what's triggering you, you're going to be better equipped to deal with this energy, because it seems quite fast-paced energy. And I feel like if it's not in control, it could be like explosive. But we really, because people are running high on emotions, so as quick as it comes in, it'll leave again. So that's why we don't want to react to this sort of energy, right? We want to take what we've learned throughout 2020 and be able to put it into action, not reaction. And the Lovers, of course, it's going to be very important for romantic relationships, and our relationship with ourselves. Because again, I'm just seeing the feminine and masculine here. It could be the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Realizing that even if you're not together, because you might be thinking about union and thinking that's the most important thing, you're still tied together. So you see what joins you together, no matter how much your differences is, you're still as one. Don't view separation as, you know, like a big thing. We're all connected here. We're all divinely connected, whether you view us all as brothers and sisters or as a conscious mind. We're all connected. And again, I'm seeing like this triangle with the mountain in the back there. So, I guess maybe three sides, one, two, you know, so as a triangle. So I feel like, yeah, okay, so it's, you know, this union that everybody is wanting to come together. And I feel like the twins may be on like the same sort of vibration in this night energy, both showing up as knights. If we're to link this romantically, I feel like you're both wanting it to happen quickly, but maybe for different reasons, right? Maybe the feminine energy feels more like she knows the truth or needs communication, wants some answers. And the masculine energy, and like I said, even you can be female and very masculine. That my natal chart is 3/4 masculine. So that masculine energy there, it can be destructive. If we see the Knight of Swords, we see that, you know, just because you're wielding the truth, it can be hurtful to people, right? So that's why we need to work on that balance. I feel like with me, speaking of my North Node, if your North Node is in Cancer, let's say, like mine, it is like your life purpose to be bringing things together, having to speak or unite humanity in some sort of way, make a home, a family, a loving place. That's your life purpose, right? And I've said this lots of times, we don't need to be, what's the word? We don't need to an amazing job. We just need to find a way to soften this energy, right? Because it's quite chaotic. Like, I feel like we have to find a way to bring it together to create. Like I said, the masculine energy alone can't create by itself, nor can the feminine energy, right? As I just seen the Ten of Wands at the bottom of the deck and the Princess of Pentacles, that's the Page of Pentacles. So learning from our past mistakes, I feel like it's all getting too heavy now for everybody, and we just want this tower to come down so that we can start rebuilding, replanting here. Three of Swords under that. Oh, and the Ten of Swords. Right? So individually, let's say, you know, these betrayals, the Hangman, this awakening, a very painful awakening, you know, this growing pains that we had, it's now, we're just like, right, enough's enough. It's like you're coming up to the end here, and this is what the summer solstice is like. We're coming to the end of it, where, you know, it's getting quite heavy. I mean, we do have another eclipse and the retrograde, so it's like, you know, we're heading towards a tower here, I feel, because I feel like some people just want the tower to come down. I suppose that's the old way of life, just we're done with it here. So I feel like, look at that red on the tower. So yeah, I feel like, you know, people are just ready now for this change. This is what 2020 is all about, this mass awakening. And people, if you don't sort of get organized and know that, you know, not only do we need, like, say, this combusting energy, we also need this energy that sort of forms the feminine energy. It sort of, I always do this with feminine energy, it sort of molds it, you know. The best way to describe it is the womb, right? And that's because that's a place where something can create and grow. So it's not all about this energy that's so wild and untamed, which we're seeing with the knights here. I feel like people need to get on board. I said different agendas before, but I feel like people need to get on board and need to have a plan, need to come together. And that's why we're seeing these threes, these unity. And how can we soften Ten of Cups? How can we bring this love into the world? Because this is what twins are supposed to do, right? They're supposed to bring this positive energy into the world. We need to celebrate the positive things that happen, not just look at all the stuff that has gone on here, but really this mass awakening. We don't just want to say, you know, all these bad things are happening in 2020. I see lots of memes, and you guys know I like a good joke and a good laugh, and, you know, that say things like, I'm not counting 2020, it was such a bad year, but in actual fact, it's such a year of awakening. major changes because we're going through these big cycles. It's Saturn has come home, and I always tell you guys, it's like the parent planet, it's the daddy planet, right? And it's dad's come home to get everything in order. And here I feel like this is Saturn looking over us here like, you've been messing around. Don't expect no treats until this is sorted out. So people who are expecting union before sorted anything out in their life, you mirror, look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what have you done to have these rewards? You know, we've got to start coming together as this humanity, this human race, this lovingness, and it's what will get us through, right? We need to be meditating, we need to be projecting positive energy out into the cosmic. And I get it, you're like, everybody will get to this point. I often describe things as like a woman being pregnant. You'll get to the end of it, and by that time you're ready for anything because your body's like, you know what, I've had enough of being pregnant now. I don't mind the labor because everything, all the burden is too much. So you're actually ready for the change. And that's what I'm feeling here. Like, you're ready for the tower to come down, these burdens to end. You're ready for the end of this cycle. You're ready for change. So, and we often say, when people see the tower and they get scared and things of the tower, because most people are scared of change or scared of the unknown. But it's usually for the better, right? There's that change. There's that transformation. We're transitioning from the summer solstice here, right? And that's that death card. That's that change. And I see like 2 huge towers here. I guess I wanted the reading to maybe focus on more like how we could celebrate and how to bring in the positive changes that we so desperately want and need. But there's no denying that we have to go through the bad and bring about this change and put an end to all this, combusting energy, all this masculine energy. And during this time, the air and the water will be very strong. So a lot will be going on, again, that balance between the head and heart. But it also indicates like major lessons being learned. It's not the end. We transform. It can probably feel like it's building up to like the end of the world, but it's not. But it might feel like that at times. We need more like of the positive energy. We're rebuilding ourselves back up here. We're coming out of the dark ages into the bronze ages, and I guess this is the major change that we needed. 2020. Princess of Cup. We need this love, and we need things to... This is like... The pages are about learning, right? And we're here to learn, and that's what it is. It's like we're on this curve. We're going back up the spectrum to this higher learning, to more love being in the world, to maybe even the rise of a matriarch here. Maybe even a female running countries and things like that. We need that feminine energy, and it seems to be going to be ushered in by this. And guys, before you start with, I know you guys are just trolling me and shit like that, but before you start with, men hating this and that, I'm not men hating. If you're seeing that or hearing that, I'm responsible for what I say. You're responsible for what you hear. That's your thing. Ask why I am triggering you when you don't know me. That's the whole point here. This healing, us all learning to love again and learning to have family units again and come together again and, be in tribes and, grow again as the human race. This reminds me of like the Black Plague, where, it's rumored that just like the Great Flood, black figures was seen spraying stuff, and then came the Black Plague. It's like, I kind of feel like that. I shouldn't really censor the message, but I kind of do. I see like this clearing out of the old and this new beginning with the Princess of Cups there. And she's not expecting this, but she's ready to take on the challenge here. If you can see her face, she's like, she wasn't expecting this. Maybe that somebody quite young ends up running the countries as well here. The start of this new world that we're living in. I remember it was ages ago, because people always say, well, why didn't readers, say this? Well, if you remember me saying about, because they've called it a new world order for so long, people have taken on it's like a word like karma, because somebody attached it to their agenda. It's taken on a negative term. But if we had a new world where it's being rebuilt by people who are wanting to have a awake society, a society of love, creation, and freedom, things like that. Somebody with new views, I guess, then I guess we are going into this new world. Because there's no way back to the normal, because that's dead. That's the death there. So that's why I feel like we should act rather than react, because, how much are we going to do here? How much do we actually want to tear down of the old ways? And if it's all of it and that's your thing, then that's your thing. It's not my business. It's not even my business what you think of me. That's all on you. That's your business, right? I always say, if you don't see a change in the world, be the change in the world. If you don't see kindness or love in the world, be the kindness and the love in the world. It's all happening because it was all meant to happen. This is a chariot. As we get on track with destiny, it's like we hit a huge milestone in 2020, Cancer season, this eclipse. Remember, let your heart guide you with the new Cancer moon and things like that as we travel into Cancer season. But it'll bring around this spiritual success. Where we're heading, there's no stopping this chariot moving forward. And we are moving forward. I guess I expected it to be one kind of reading and it was another. But I see union. I see success. I see us all coming together. And going forward bravely into this new world. And we've got to be part of the creation of the new world. The universe doesn't want you to sit there and feel powerless of what's happening or like it's the end of the world. It wants you to grab life by the reins here and be the change. Be, you know, in command of your life. Head your life where you want it to go. Did it say up here it's happening? No, I think that might have been a Cancer reading as well. It's happening for you, not to you. We are ascending. We are waking up. There's no stopping it. It's just how it's been for eternity. You know, we was in the gold ages, went down to the silver, and we started losing our consciousness. And now we're on the way back up to this consciousness. And there's no stopping the wheel of fortune. There's no stopping the change here. It's for the best. Good luck, guys.